Words.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chubb's Gone Wild, the special after Memorial Day edition. It is, yes, I did this correctly. It is episode 496, recorded on May 30th, 2023. It is a beautiful Tuesday. It's actually a little overcast outside. About 78 and partly cloudy. Yeah. Am I
And
telling a lie?
well, you forgot to mention just four
Yeah,
shows.
I noticed how beautiful it was outside, so I wanted
Yeah,
to
you
throw
got the
that in
swag.
there. Yeah.
Got the swag.
But we are four shows until episode 500 when we make the big announcement. Are we excited? Very
Big
excited.
announcement.
What is that? Copy print. Oh, that's paper. Okay. I was just noticing behind you some beautiful paper or something. Yeah. All right. It is 157 days until Halloween. Hmm. Is that enough time to plan a party?
Well, maybe not for us, but I know somebody who could have a party in a second.
Apparently, after 2 days of uh, saying, I don't want to just leave me alone. And then it's the next day, hey, yeah, interesting. It is also 209 days until Christmas, and I have already done some Christmas shopping finally, some Yuletide shopping, although I'm actually thinking that I may not send Yule cards out this year. Well, you give a thumbs up, but some of our patrons and our listeners right now are like, oh, but we expect yours the day after Halloween. Anyway,
You know what you should do? You should make up cards that say, "Okay, it's official. You can put up the tree."
oh,
That would
that's
be a great
true.
card because everybody would, every one half of every couple would be so thrilled to go, okay, I got the card. It said we can put up the tree.
Yep. Yeah. This
It's
is the first
official.
one of the season, so it's time.
Yeah.
I think I might put mine up earlier this year because I really struggled last year to get them all done in time.
Well, you know what I figured is that you put the tree up,
Mhm.
at least get the tree up and ready.
Right.
You can take your time decorating. That's fine.
Oh, that's what, yeah. Yeah.
But waiting until what was it, like the 20th?
There was two trees that were not up until about the 20th. Yeah.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, I really struggled this year,
I
last
remember.
year. Huh?
I remember, and I kept going. uh, just do it. Just do it,
Yeah.
and you'll thank yourself later for it. You might begrudgingly do it, but yeah, it's sometimes it's just one of those things you just have to bite the bullet, put up the tree, even though
Yeah.
you're not ready for it, and then your husband comes home and he walks in and goes, "Why isn't the tree turned on?" And it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah. Well, and I realize that, I do most of the stuff that I do that way. I do for my mom.
right.
So because she won't do it herself. I mean, so I will so I want to create that, special holiday for her.
Yeah, my niece told me that when we were kids and they come up to our house,
Mm,
they were always so excited to see what I had done this year for Christmas.
yeah.
Because I used to hang shit from the ceiling and the curtains, and I had stuff on all the walls. You walked in and it was a Santa, kind of visit. It was really beautiful. But now it's just, you
Yeah.
know,
It it,
so it's a lot of work.
it is. It is. Oh, speaking of a lot of work, for those not watching the video, um, uh, Tom and I may be looking a little different today because, well, uh, we don't have chin hair.
Well, what
So
happened was
I have
Matt
to work
asked for a
on
trim, and the person took it off before he could
Yes.
oh no, now it's got to go.
Yeah, I think my eyes got really big, but I didn't say anything like, what the fuck?
I
But
would
yeah,
have.
I know a lot of people would, and a lot of people are like, but
And so
it's
and
done,
so
it's done. It's like,
so I shaved off mine, so Matt wouldn't feel, sad that his was gone.
and it's true. I still feel it's growing back. I do not like not having my beard. I didn't realize just how much uh
It's a part of
it
your
was
look.
part of my armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, for those of you who have, are watching us on video, it really, now that I don't have a goatee, it really shows off my throat labia.
Your waddle. Yeah.
No,
What is it?
it looks like, look, it's like that, the skin, like that skin that hangs out of a vagina. It's my labia.
Oh my gosh. The yeah, Tom
I
had big, Ally McBeal, that's what it was. Remember they had the character on Ally McBeal that like loved that like throat
oh,
while
she was
there.
into the waddle. Ugh.
Yeah. I thought that was cool, actually. It's
Well,
like,
she wasn't that for old guys. Remember, she wasn't. Who's she married to? Somebody was like Harrison Ford or somebody old.
probably, but yeah. Anyway, next up we have Patreon, which offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And I just released some My Life in Fragments over there. And so another thing that I put up um, is a link to the original Countess Dracula play on video is available exclusively to our patrons over at patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. Which means who can watch it? Well, right now, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ, Sausage, Ronzo, Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brother Senatus, Phoenix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. They can all go over there and watch play if they so desire. Uh,
Yeah,
so
so Callista Flockhart is married to Harrison Ford.
oh, still, oh,
Yeah,
cool. I would be, but hmm.
bring home
So
that Indiana Jones money.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's coming out. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Um, but I'm also really looking forward to the Hunger Games sequel, which I wasn't even prequel, I mean. I really wasn't a big Hunger Games fan. Although and then although I really did like the last one until the end when I was just like, wow, that's a way to go. But whatever, I guess. Was it in the book? I don't know. I didn't read it.
So I didn't mind the first one, and then the second one was kind of fun, and then it's just like, oh my god, they're pushing a third one, and now the prequel. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope they learned their lesson enough to do a good prequel because I don't know if the prequel was an actual book. I think they're just making a movie.
They're making it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, to me, if it's anything like Queen Charlotte, I'm willing to give the prequel a chance.
exactly. That was so good, and I know we'll be talking about that shortly. So, but patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. Hey, if you want to see a good play that Tom and I wrote, there you go. All right, on May 30th, 1431, at Run in English controlled Normandy. Okay, yes. Joan of Arc, the peasant girl who became the savior of France, was burned at the stake for heresy and hearing voices that she thought was God.
It
Hmm.
was
Hey, who's to say? Depending on what your version of that is. So,
right.
playwright Christopher Marlowe, 29, was killed in a brawl over a bar tab on this day.
That's terrible.
I know. Uh, actually, it's kind of funny to me. Christopher Marlowe, I actually wrote a big college paper on him uh, about, and it was, we were studying Shakespeare time period and everything. Did you freeze?
I'm frozen.
Okay. Well, your, your heart's not open. Just give it a moment.
Yeah.
There you are.
Ah,
Anyway, so Christopher Marlowe, who was a contemporary of Shakespeare, for those who do not know, and well, anyway, I won't go into that because why bother? However, so my college paper I wrote on how Christopher Marlowe could not escape his destiny, his life, and his early death based on the numerology around his birth date and his name. See, I thought it was a very interesting paper. Uh, and the professor that, well, she wasn't a professor, but that read it, she said, "Yeah, that's really interesting, but I wouldn't try this with anyone else. And besides, you have enough extra credit that you're getting an A anyway, so it doesn't matter." But I thought it was cool.
that's all that matters to me.
Thank you. All right, today's affirmation. I'm not prepared. Nope, almost prepared. There we go. Today's affirmation. Please take a deep breath, take a moment to focus, realize that you are special, you are wonderful. You are your own person. Be in the moment. I am the star in my own movie. I am also the writer and the director. I create wonderful roles for myself. Yeah, that's real nice, but then, the editors and the studio heads come along and do everything they can to fuck up your character. So there you go. But
Or you get some terrible director who decides that he's just going to blend characters together that have nothing to do with each other, just so keep some of the lines and just lose the rest of them.
and then blame everyone else for his failure. Yeah, yeah. Well, there we go. No one's bitter. Breathe out. All right. Well, let's see if we accidentally celebrated some holidays. Yesterday, we celebrated a big one with a nice little get together with a friend. That was very nice. It was very low key, very, very fun. Of course, he's all like, "Hey, let's jump in the pool," and we're all like, hey, let's not.
Yeah.
It's not pool weather yet. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
When I'm shivering on the back porch, there's no cool weather going on.
right, exactly. All right, today is Loomis Day. I haven't been to Loomis in a long time. It is also My Bucket's Got a Hole in It Day. National Creativity Day. Well, we're being creative, right?
Sure.
As Tom licks his fingers seductively. Chicken juice. uh, Water a Flower Day. Did you water a flower?
I will later.
Okay. That's not a euphemism for like water sports, is it?
No.
Okay. But also World MS Day. So Microsoft, I think. No? Okay. MS, yeah. No. I should not make fun of that or joke about that because that is quite serious. Now, which one does Michael J. Fox have? Is that MS or Parkinson's? That's
Parkinson's.
isn't it? Yeah. His company, you heard that his company made like some real breakthroughs with identifying like the genome and or the all that stuff.
Well, see, what's happening now is that with this new gene splitter thing that they've got going on right now, basically the reason why the COVID vaccines were available so quickly was because they have new technology that instead of taking years for something, it takes weeks or
Well,
months.
and not only that, but there were strands of that stuff through because of HIV that existed that they could, do some of the research from.
Right. Well, this is because of the technology that they have right now.
That's amazing.
I suggest picking up CRISPR stock on the stock exchange because they're right now they're trying to they just got something on sickle cell anemia that they're working on
What?
to cure
Wow.
sickle cell. Yeah. or to prevent it, basically not a cure probably, but at
Right.
least prevention. So um there's a lot of good stuff coming out right now that people, these scientists are doing. And then you get the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world that go, oh no, we don't want that stuff. We want God's way to happen. Okay, well, good. You can have God's way to happen, but when that cancer cure comes out, we'll make sure you're not standing in line for it.
Right. I just, uh, ugh, I don't want to even think of her. All right. Hey, so happy birthday to Marcus and Brandon. Also, happy birthday to Matthew, Thomas, Ian, Bruce, Xavier, well, and Nessa, who we caught that last time. And then we have Rick Arnold, Cheryl Murkowski. Oh, my girl. Cheryl Murkowski. I can't. So many people can do that voice better than me. All right. We also have Dale, Philip, Mark, Jeff, Robert, Daniel. Daniel. Happy birthday, Daniel. I know who you is. Oh, and another Daniel right after that. Very cool. Also, Tim and Gregory. Happy birthday, y'all. Save us some cake. No?
Yeah, cake,
Panda Express. Cake.
Panda Express.
I saw something else that
Okay.
came to mind. Woo. Okay, so our feedback. Sean says, congratulations on cutting the cable TV cord, Tom. Between over-the-air TV and streaming video, you'll still be able to get all the shows you want, no problem.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, technically, we haven't canceled cable yet, but we're not watching cable.
Right.
It's weird because I mean, like I said, everything. Well, like Sean said, everything you can get it on streaming. It's just cable is useless.
Yeah. We had cable. We kept cable for 2 years. I was going to cut the cord from that, and Mom was like, "No, I still watch stuff," and I was like, "Okay." And then like after we'd already locked into 2 years, we realized no, no, we don't. And so now she's a big YouTube fan, so she
Yeah,
rarely watches, anything. So we got rid of that a while ago, and it saved us about $100 a month now.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Chub hugs. Who you got some chub hugs to send out to? Well, how about we send some chub hugs out to the gay people in Uganda who may be, hunted down and slaughtered now. Thanks.
I know, and also to the drag queens of America who are feeling like they're going to be hunted down.
Or
And
the
I'm worried about that too.
uh-huh.
Um,
Or the trans people
uh-huh.
who, up to, as we were talking earlier, up to age 26 who can't get gender affirming care.
Right. And what
Yep.
would you say? How many states is it now? Do we know?
Oh,
But
I don't know, but it is spread like all lower
well,
North
and this
America.
is why I tell people, I tell them, don't worry about the Republicans winning because they've, fucked up abortion. They're coming after gay people. They're coming after trans people. They're coming after drag queens. Come on,
Yeah.
seriously. And I mean, can you imagine being a woman? I know you can't, but
Mm,
let's say you are, and then you're told, if you have a child, if you get pregnant, you have to have that child.
right.
That's your job. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Women should be having babies and not in the Senate or vice president
Well,
or
and that's why, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is right upon it. I just keep thinking, why is the woman is so Bible centric, Yet she's not home serving her husband. Wait, does she even have one anymore? But she's
Uh,
not home baking and, getting pregnant and being fruitful. She doesn't.
I'm sure she'll tell you the reason is because she's too busy
Yeah,
fighting all the wrongness in the world.
she just needs to be subservient to a man, and her life will be complete. It's what I believe. It's how it rolls. Anyway,
So that
okay. Uh,
all?
and yeah, lots of chub hugs, and also chub hug out to our friend who hosted our nice get together yesterday. Anything else?
Um, well, no.
Okay. Um. Also, let's see. Oh, celebrity deaths. Well, we did have one. I didn't look up the others, so let me do that right now. Hopefully, there was just the one
Well,
because
there's what's his name? McHarris. Greg, is it Greg? Mark? Older actor.
uh oh yes, let's see. Well, this one has George Maharis,
George McHarris. Yeah.
the actor best known for his role as Buzz Murdoch on Route 66, died May 24th, and he was 94. He was a handsome man.
Yeah. And did you know that Route 66 goes from Los Angeles, California to Chicago?
Yes, I heard that recently.
Yeah.
Huh. And of course we had sweet Tina Turner, queen of rock and roll, who died May 24th at 83 years old. And I know that came as a blow to many people.
They
Uh,
broke in on a news break on NBC. I don't know about the rest of the stations, but NBC didn't start their regular news because they had a news break from national news. Tina Turner is dead.
wow.
I know.
See, that's something. I mean, that really shows you the impact of her life and what she had, who she
Yes.
was. And
And
after everything that she overcame,
right. And her later life ends up being, was once she got rid of, you know, it was great. It was
yeah.
amazing.
So I just such a loss, and yet what a great life. We did have Ray Stevenson, an Irish actor who played the Asgardian warrior Vorstag in the Thor movies. Really? Oh.
What was the name again?
Uh, Volstag or Volstag.
Bless you.
Oh, you're welcome. The anti-hero Frank Castle in The Punisher, and then he was only 58. Um, yeah, I was trying to see what else he did. Oh, he was also in the Divergent series. So,
Okay.
Leon Ijaso, I don't know, Cuban American writer and director behind El Super uh, Bitter
Mark.
Sugar, 75. Uh, hmm. Oh wow. Okay. Martin Amis, the British author. Oh, we talked about him last time, didn't we? Yeah, we talked about him. So anyway, just double check this other one because oddly enough, some of these places skip people that passed. It's very weird. But yes, this one has Tina Turner as well. So we're set for that part of our show. And now that we've talked about death and sadness, let's turn to Tom and ask about how his week went.
Okay. Well, we are on the lot coming up this week. Well, tonight actually, at 9 o'clock. The final Ted Lasso will be available on Apple TV. If it actually is, I think it's the last one with Ted Lasso. So it may come back as the soccer team uh, with somebody else running it.
Mm,
Maybe one of the cast members stays and ends up
yeah.
taking it on. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll find out. Um, let's see. We also finished up. Miss Maisel,
Hmm.
Marvelous Miss Maisel, finished up its run. It was, I just, the whole time I was just sitting there crying because,
Oh,
well, you get these characters that you
yeah,
love and shows that you love, and it's worth the 10-month wait to get the next season.
yep.
But yeah, it was just a bummer.
Mm,
And um yeah, actually, at one point towards the end, she just takes over the talk show that she's working on and just does her act, even though she knows she's going to get fired.
yeah,
Doesn't matter. And what it does is it's what makes her career, because basically it was Johnny Carson, and they called him something else, but he asked her over to sit on the couch,
yeah,
which Joan Rivers had that happen,
yep.
and Roseanne Barr had that happen. But at the time period that the show was taking place, I wonder if there had even been a female comedian that had been asked to go over and sit on the couch. So it was a big deal.
Yeah.
If Carson asked you to come sit down and ask you a couple
Oh
more
yeah, your
questions
career
afterward,
was made.
yeah, because I remember he did it with Louis Anderson.
Yep.
He
I was just gonna say
Dan
that.
Kinison. I
Yeah.
mean, it was the thing. It for stand-up comedians. You made it when you sat on the couch after. I mean, you made it on Johnny Carson, but if you sat on the couch, he loved you, and that's why.
Yes.
So. Also ending this week was Mrs. Davis, which is the
Good.
Ninja Nun show that I was watching, and it ended. It was, I think it was just 8 episodes, and it ended like it's only ever going to be 8 episodes. I don't see this coming back, and that's
It-
fine. I don't mind a show that wants to come in, like Queen Charlotte. We're
Right.
we're we're not going to go back and probably look at that. We may be in flashbacks. They call in the girl and go, "Hey, we need a flashback." But
Hmm.
it's not going to be about her anymore, like it was in Queen Charlotte, and I'm all right with that
Yeah.
because it gave me a whole. I mean, it gave me a very satisfying 6 episodes,
Yep.
and as we talked about yesterday, that we both sat and cried at the end, and it
Ah,
was because
that
when
was so beautiful.
she goes over to tell him,
Yep.
the king, that they're going to have an heir,
Hmm.
and that he's, George, the mad George. We've heard about the king, and so he became completely aware of what was happening when he's with her,
Yeah.
and it was just really. I don't want to lose it. Okay, uh, moving
It
on.
was, that was, I mean, there are times when you're watching stuff like that when you're like, oh, that was a very sweet ending or whatever. But it's a really good show when you can get to that final scene like that and just sob because it is so well done.
Well, actually grasping for breath.
Uh-huh.
It was something. Okay, on Jim Belushi's Weed show, that's on Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
It was the finale. We actually got more episodes than we ever have before, so I was grateful for that. Um, and it's a little bit silly at times, but occasionally it's. I mean, I love seeing the new technology that they're bringing to the cannabis business. It's just amazing what they're doing now. Um, let's see. No, we got that. RuPaul's Drag Race. They got rid of. Oh wait, we're going to be talking about that later, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah, yeah.
okay. A new show on Apple TV called Platonic. It's with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, and they play old best friends that never were lovers, never were anything. They were just best friends. And when she got married, then he got married, then they lost touch, but then he's got a divorce and she's kind of bored at home. And so they're becoming friends again. And it looks like it's going to be a really good show. They got a really good cast. Her husband in the show is the love interest from Bros. So I'm hoping to
Yeah.
see more, like him running around like in a towel,
Oh,
but we'll
I love
see. Yeah. Um, Okay, one thing I did wanted to talk to you about was the two new entries on Netflix. We've got Mer People and we've got The Ultimate Queer Love, which is a bunch of lesbians basically speed dating each other. Oh God, that sounds gross. But yeah, so
It's
it's
already a speed date if it's a lesbian, but hey.
sure, yeah. What happens is whoever wins at the end gets a U-Haul for the weekend to move to whoever's house we've decided to move to.
Right.
But and the Mer People, I'm sure it'd be interesting, but I also think that sitting around in a mermaid outfit um, is crazy if it's not Halloween.
Yeah, I know a group of people of, well, mostly the women,
Yeah, I'm sure you
um,
do.
that I went to college with, very, in the theater department, very active. And they have like a group, I think it's called like the Pixie Tribe or something like that. And they do children's events and face painting and this and that and the other thing, but they're also very into the mermaid stuff. I don't know anything
And
about
they're
it.
worried about drag queens.
Oh, I know, right? And then there's actually, I believe there is a drag queen, not a drag queen, a mermaid bar in Sacramento, or not where it caters to mermaids, but one of the things is that they have behind the bar, they have a huge tank and they hire mermaid people to be mermaids and swim down and do it while everybody's eating or drinking or whatever they're doing. And in the back, there's, a person swimming around being a mer person.
I
And
guess they should
now
be
I,
happy they're getting paid and
yeah,
they're making their way.
it's like, okay, that's cool. And then I just found on my Instagram feed, there's this merman that keeps popping up, and it's him in a doing a merman thing, and then he'll turn around and his butt will be hanging out, which is just fine with me. I mean, it's a nice butt, but yeah. So it has gone from being cutesy to being very integrated into our culture right now. So,
Yeah, surprising that Netflix brings this out the week that The Little Mermaid comes out at theaters.
right. Yeah, the lesbian thing actually sounds interesting. I may try to give it a watch, but
Well, I
have
you I mean, if you tell me that it's super funny, but if it's just like
if it's just drama and processing.
well, or making
Sure.
out and dry humping and stuff like I can't deal with that. I'm
Oh,
just
I that wouldn't bother me, but it just is what it is. The one that I'm kind of interested in watching is oh, the name just left me. There is another gay dating or gay, yeah, a gay dating type show in Britain that was just came out, and I keep seeing the ads for it, but it just left my head. So
okay.
anyway,
Uh, also, I did want to mention that Big Brother, which normally starts the end of June, the beginning of July, has been moved to the beginning of August, and
wow.
and that is so um, they've got a little um, leeway on the writer's strike
Uh,
because the new season starts in September, and if they run this through the end of October, then that'll take up some of that space, and the great thing is they don't qualify as the same writers as the writer strike, so they can. I mean, they normally have 3 episodes a week. They might have five. Just
wow.
it's
Well, I
new.
know that they do need to script all that stuff out, though.
Sure, but it's not the same. So you've got content but you don't have to worry about the writer's strike.
Hmm.
And you can, I mean, if you can fill up 5 nights a week with brand new content, and it always
Right.
does well in the ratings. So,
Yeah. Oh,
good for you.
it's called I Kissed a Boy,
Oh, okay.
and it's hosted by Danny Minogue.
Okay. So, started watching Fubar. I think it's called Fubar or Fubar. It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger
Oh,
series on Netflix where he finds out that his daughter is working for it's either the FBI, I think it's the CIA, and the way he finds out is he's working for the CIA, and he's on a mission, and he gets to where he's going, some drug lord in South America or Central America, and it turns out that his daughter has already infiltrated the camp, and she's one of them as an undercover agent. So it's like, okay, this could be cute. And the first episode was fun. And unlike others in California, I don't have a problem with Arnold. So
well, I did while he was governor because he
sure,
was basically fucking up everybody that I knew, including my mom, with,
right.
but as far as a performer, I've always liked his performance.
Yeah. Personally, the only thing I think he's got going against him right now is that Chris Pratt's his son-in-law.
Well, yeah,
Yes. So,
there's that.
I saw
And
three movies.
I'm interested in watching it.
Okay. I saw three movies. Shazam Part Two, I guess it's Part Two,
Hmm.
yeah, which I thought was entertaining, but I was not like focused. It almost became like a background movie,
Yeah.
where you can do other things and you're listening and you're not missing a damn thing. And
Yep.
I agree with you that Lucy Liu was terrible in it.
Oh, I didn't say that. That was Clint.
You mean Ouija?
Yeah, either
Yeah.
one. One of our sponsors of the show, who we absolutely love and adore.
Right.
But yes, he thought Lucy Liu.
Well,
Uh,
it's just I think what she was doing was she was playing it for high camp, and
uh-huh.
nobody else was playing it for high camp.
Right.
At least not her other two sisters weren't.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can see. I can totally see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's the thing. Another thing that got me about that, and I'm interested if you agree, was that so Shazam is the younger kid who's just about to turn 18, I think.
well, he
And
did try to date that one girl by saying, "Hey, I'm going to be 18 in a little bit." So
yeah. But so he is Shazam, and yet when the younger actor was acting, he was actually acting more adult-ish. But when Shazam was, the Shazam actor was acting the part, he was acting more like a doofy kid, and it just felt very inconsistent to me.
okay. Yeah, well, and honestly, this particular show was all about the handicap brother.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, he was more of the focus in the show than the Shazam younger character.
Hmm.
So anyway, the second movie I saw was Murder Mystery 2. That's Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. It's on Netflix. It was 90 minutes of very forced humor.
Mm.
It was formulaic. It was, like I said, very forced. I mean, the humor was, yeah, I felt bad for it because it was trying so hard to be funny and clever, and it was not.
No.
Yeah. And then finally, I was watching uh The Kitchen in which is on Food Channel, and that's where you've got like Alex Riccelli, and you got Jeffrey Zakarian, and you got like these major chefs on the show, and their theme was, "Are you ready for summer?" So they kept going, "Hey, are you ready for summer?" And then I would finish with, "Are you ready for the good times? Good times." And so that night we ended up watching Meatballs because of it. And
uh,
Meatballs, I swear to God, they made it for $50. Ivan Reitman and Harold Ramis and Bill Murray go, they're looking through their pockets. They go, "We got about $50. We got the cameras. We got all these friends. Let's make a movie."
uh,
Because it looks like it was made on a dime. But it just proves that if you've got funny script and
mhm.
good actors, you don't need a multi-million dollar, you don't need that as a budget.
Right.
You don't I mean, you look back at like movies like Carrie and Halloween that were made on for nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Meatballs, which by the way, the year it came out, it also won Best Comedy film in Canada because it came from Canada.
Wow.
But Canadian Academy Awards, it won Best Picture. And it just goes to show you that at least the Canadians like drag queens, and they also like the fact that comedy movies have worth when
Hmm.
you're presenting awards.
Yeah.
And then the rest, I think we've got mixed stuff. So uh,
Okay.
my tomatoes, it's been so cold. My tomatoes are growing, but they're not growing with any effort at this point because it has to be in the 80s for tomato plants to really, start go. And we've been now that we're in our second or third week of 70s,
Yeah.
and I know you're happy about it, but I'm freezing, constantly freezing. So um,
Nice.
yeah.
It
So
is hard.
so let's look back. Okay, you had
Queer
uh,
Eye season 7.
right. And I really enjoyed this season, I think more than any of the other seasons.
Hmm.
And
I
maybe it's because the guys are just, they finally are comfortable with their what they're doing or whatever it is, it's working for them.
Yeah.
And or maybe it's just that I've gotten over the fact that there's just a bunch of queers,
Hmm.
um, you know, and being, like Jonathan and his ball gowns and hairy armpits. It's just Jonathan. And so I think maybe I've gotten over that.
Yeah.
And Bobby and his Oshkosh outfits and
That was a little much this season,
oh,
but
and
I
how
still think
about
he's adorable.
Anthony? Why is he still on the show? Every time I see him, I want to hit him.
He is there because he's pretty. And as much as I love the idea that of the cooking thing or whatever, it's just he's there because a lot of people like to look at him because he really doesn't have much of a personality.
Well,
Sorry. I
let's
mean,
face it.
the nicest thing about him is he likes dogs.
I mean, Cuomo is at least he's finally doing something, more.
Yes.
He did a
And
lot
he,
more this season. I mean,
yeah,
bringing in family members and from out of state, and I mean, they did. He was doing some big things, bringing the guy in the wheelchair down
right,
to mentor the kid who is in the wheelchair now, and how if he wants to do something important, that he can show him how to do it, and
right,
that was really nice. But yet, you still have Anthony sitting around showing you how to make it one meal
right.
and going through and making fun of what you got in your refrigerator.
And
That's all he does.
I'm going to
Oh,
teach you how to do meal prep. Meal
and
prep,
yeah,
really.
and also destroying poor Jonathan's heart, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, a very
Uh, but
non-existent issue.
I think my favorite one was the thrift store lady.
Oh, yeah, she had such an amazing story too.
It was just wild. I mean, she got 12 years in prison because she wouldn't help the cops, you
Right,
know, frame somebody.
right,
And just and how even though it's been 12 years since she's been in jail, she lost her family, she lost her, her well-being, she lost her everything about her. She had to
everything.
build a whole new life for herself because she thought her kids would be too ashamed to see her.
Right.
And it was really a touching episode, really touching. That
It
was
really was. And when they cut her hair off, and I was expecting that they were going to do something like give her extensions or color her hair or something like that. And she's like, "No, I want my gray. I've earned my gray."
well, and it's and
It's
she
beautiful.
looked like Della Reese. I mean, her hair was
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So and yeah,
But
so
the other thing, when you said that it Karamo was finally doing something, whatever, I think that they were finally showing what he did because in past seasons, even I'm like, you sit down and you have a little talk with them on the porch and make them feel better about themselves, and that's it. I think they finally showed
no, if think about it,
what he was
he
doing.
brought in, I mean, he brought in people, he brought in
Right.
like important. And they don't really, he wasn't doing that in a lot of the past seasons.
I think that, well, actually, in some ways he was. I think that he was helping them more than we were seeing. I think in the editing, it wasn't showing because.
Okay.
But anyway, that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
Got it. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
What else? What else you got?
So anyway, Queer Eye is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it. And although I will say, if Jonathan is listening, because we know that he sometimes listens, uh, that one outfit in the last episode,
Oh,
the
that was
black shorts with
that
the
was so
see-through
horrible. You could see
on the.
his nipples.
Oh, I didn't. I don't mind that. I mean, I think
No,
he's.
no, no. I
But
mind that
I just it
because
was it was an atrocious dress, girl.
and he had black underwear
Huh?
underneath that you could see through the whole thing, and it wasn't attractive.
No.
First of all, as a dress, less attractive when you're like going, "Oh my God, I'm seeing. I don't know what I'm seeing. What's
Right.
yeah."
Well, and it's like, I want to say I support whatever you want to wear. That's all cool. But and then there's the other part of me that is the kind of gay part of me that is all. If you're gonna wear that, couldn't you at least wear something a little more
Sexier?
attractive or
Yeah.
better fitting or something? But
Ugh.
then the whole point is that we shouldn't be thinking that way. So I don't know, but
But they're on TV.
well,
Well, they needed
so
a
is
queer
Tim
eye
Allen.
Jonathan in that last episode. That's all.
Yeah, but I love the show. Top Chef All Stars.
Right.
This was the episode where they had gelatin and gelée and doing things with zhuzh. Uh,
Well, first of
yes,
all, at the beginning of the episode, we find out that my boyfriend was defeated by
the
that woman.
woman. I know. I hate to call her the woman, but unfortunately I keep forgetting her name.
Yeah, me too. But
Um,
she's the only woman left in the contest, and
yeah,
they're down to the top four. They got rid of Tom, so that was fine because I think he was he was getting by, and he shouldn't have been.
yeah, and that was a sad thing because I think he's really talented, but I don't know. This should have been a challenge that he would have thrived in.
Really? Why?
Mm,
He's
what was the
German.
challenge? Well, it was the whole gelatin shit. What was the main challenge? Do you remember?
I don't remember now.
Yeah. Anyway, but the whole gelatin and this and that and everything, that was right up his alley. That's the things that he loves to do. And it was just but anyway, I was surprised that she came back because the other two were so strong. And
Right.
she had not been really cutting it for a while. So I was surprised. But
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
I like her, but she just doesn't stand out to me. Anyway, um, next up we have, so yeah, Tom went home. I don't mind. My two boyfriends are there, so we're all good. Um, what do we have next? We had RuPaul's All Stars 8. They sent Kirstie Alley home.
So Darius got sent home.
Yes, Darian, yeah.
Darian, yeah. And I was watching Untucked, and I kind of first of all the girls voted, all the lipsticks were for Darian.
Oh, were
All
they?
of them.
Oh,
Yeah, because they show that on Untucked, and they all had the same thing to say. They said, bottom been in the bottom too many times,
hmm.
and it's like, your third time is you're out, and that's why most of them picked it. Now remember how uh Heidi in Closet said that she's got some tea that she's gonna spill.
Oh, yes. Hmm.
I found out it's on candy.
Well, yeah. She was saying that she listens to Candy, and Candy's been privately like talking shit about like all the other girls or whatever. Was
Right.
that did you go into more detail on that?
No, it just said that the tea she has is on candy. So
Yeah,
we'll see if it gets spilled. So,
yeah.
but the thing with uh Candy is she says shit to the camera, so it doesn't
Uh,
surprise me. And she's entertaining,
yes,
and she came in. Wasn't she second runner up the year she was
I
on the
think
show?
so.
She was one of the top people.
Right.
So the audience is familiar with her deceiving and
Antics.
conniving. So
Right.
so I'm okay with it, and she's been showing really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been
So
doing good.
yeah,
I was very happy with Darian Kirstie Alley going home. Because honestly, some of the stuff that she was doing, I really expect her to turn to the camera and say, "I'm too old for this shit,"
yeah.
or "I'm retiring in 3 days," and then you just
Well,
knew she was getting voted off.
yeah. She has the look of a very um uh like a
Seasoned.
aged drag queen.
Yes.
Mean, she
Yeah.
is older, but I mean,
Right.
we're talking even older.
Yep.
Miss Kasha Davis, at least she was carrying on a character,
Right.
but unfortunately, all her shit looks like it's from the 50s, even if, so that's a problem with uh, Kasha Davis. But um, yeah, I mean, I think, Darian, it was still time.
Yeah.
3 strikes, you're out. What are you
Right.
gonna do?
Who's your favorite so far? I mean, at the moment.
I'm
Emily.
really liking I like hiding in closets. I always have.
Hmm.
But I'm really liking the Canadian that keeps winning. What is it? I can't think of her name now.
Neither
Uh,
can I. Oh, I don't remember her name, but now
Jojo?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. But that's that. I like him a lot, and what happened? He reminds me of Bianca,
Oh,
um,
okay, yeah.
because they both approach it as we are clowns.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's a great way. I mean, not all drag queens are played like clowns, but I like the ones that do. They're funny. They always are easy to pivot.
Hmm.
Um, they, I mean, usually if anything, their dancing gets in the way, but they usually are, very funny, good writers. So
Yeah.
that part of it, it's just, some people don't have a singing voice, and that's going to be a problem.
Right.
Some people can't dance, but as I've mentioned before, this is a contest about people who can sing, dance, act, write, and construct a garment when they need to.
Especially on All Stars.
Right. And Darian was, she said, I don't make my own clothes because I've got good credit.
Exactly. Because
And
it's
and I'm living in
um,
a first world country where I don't have to make my own clothes.
and it's funny. If she had said that in drag, it would have been funny. But when she said that out of drag, it felt like an entirely different connotation.
Really? I didn't feel that
Right.
way.
It just sounded like Snobby McSnobbenstein.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. All right. Then we had Survivor, which I didn't watch. You pretty much watched it and spoiled it for me. And so I already know who won, so feel free to talk about it.
Well, it was Jam Jam ended up being the winner with Heidi, who still, we discussed this yesterday. Heidi, who is like, she shows up and like she was hiding behind a palm tree, and then jumped out going, okay, I'm in the top three with you guys now,
Yeah.
top four.
So they
And
got rid of Carson.
what happens is she wins the final contest. So she picks who goes into the top three.
Uh,
So this is what she does. She goes, okay, I'm going to send Carolyn into the top three, and I'm going to send, um, what's his name? Carson. He's going to make fire, and I'm going to make fire. And they're like going, if you make fire and you lose, then you lose. And she goes, but if I make fire and I win, then I have something that I can tout when I go to the tribal. And I'm like, okay, well, that's true, but also you can't just come in and go, I won the last contest and I made fire. Give me $1 million. Well, we don't even know
Right.
who the fuck you are.
Uh,
The average person watching the show does not remember who Heidi was.
Heidi and Jamie and all of those, they all blend. I'm
Well,
sorry, but I don't mean to be mean, but they are the characters that are kind of the filler characters where nobody really expects them to. They don't have a personality, so the cameras don't pay attention to them.
right, and that's what happened was that everybody was focusing on Carson, Jam Jam, and Carolyn,
Right.
and so when so going into it, most people thought it was going to be the three of them, and they're
Mhm.
going to dump Heidi because who is she? Um, yeah, so but otherwise, I was perfectly fine. It is worth watching the trial, or when they put him on trial,
Yeah.
because Jam Jam really states why he was the best. And at the end, everybody's like going, "Oh yeah, yeah." And when they, after the show finishes and they have them all there talking, they're
Mhm.
all going, "Are you kidding? He told me this, and and this and this, and then they voted me off, and I didn't suspect anything." And there's a few of us here that got voted off because we voted Jam Jam once, and he
Uh-huh.
carried that through and made sure that we all knew that he was the one that got us out. And then that's what he was telling them, and they're like going, "How could you not be impressed with that? We didn't know we didn't know we had to blame him until he told us he was the reason." And then it's like, okay, you got to give him credit. Give him
Yeah.
the money. We're not giving it to Heidi, and Carolyn just bitched the whole time. Although she was surprised she didn't get any votes. And of course, in Sia, the singer,
Yeah.
she the past few years she's been awarding like cancellation prizes for those who didn't win, but she really liked, and she gave Carolyn $100,000.
I'm glad. I really did like Carolyn. She
I
was
did too.
a real character.
I just wouldn't want to be like stuck with her on a bus for what,
Oh no, she would drive
six,
me
8 hours.
crazy, like being a neighbor or something. But on a TV show, I mean, that's one of the reasons I think that I don't know whether they did anything to make her stay or what, but she was, she made the season.
Yeah,
And actually, Jam Jam and Carson, all of them, even the lovey-dovey couple, Matt and Franny, I
Franny.
they got them out, but they made,
They made
this
it interesting and different.
this season they had people that wanted to play. They weren't super bitter about being kicked out. They loved that when they were blindsided because it was good play. They loved the game. They weren't there to try to cut each other's throats.
Right.
So anyway, and then the Summer Baking Championship. I watched 2 episodes of that, and
You saw the ice cream episode. That was number two.
I had to have seen the ice cream episode.
That's where they made an ice cream. I think it was an ice cream cake, and then they also had to make ice cream something else, like the short challenge. It was some kind of quick
Okay.
dessert.
Then I thought I saw the ice cream dessert. Maybe I didn't finish the whole episode, but I'll catch up on that again. But I'm enjoying it. I do. You're right. I did like the new judge. I mean, she's we'll have to see what personality she has.
Well, she's really fun.
Yeah.
Except right here on her eye tooth, above the eye
Oh,
tooth, it's like the tooth is lower and the gum line goes below the rest of the teeth. It's weird. It's very weird. And somebody who's snobby on teeth like I am, it's hard for me.
I was just gonna say for our listeners that don't know, Tom has kind of a teeth thing, so we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, and Jesse was fun, and seeing him in his shorts and everything were fun. So yeah, all good. But I don't see a lot of strong so far.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I think that's it that we've been watching together.
Yeah.
All right, getting into my week. I have been writing more on Kissing in Spokane. Those of you who are on the Patreon have been noticing that because when I finish a good 1,000 words or so of it, I have been posting it over there for y'all to take a look at. And if you do take a look at it, please feel free to comment or let me know what you're thinking of it. What you like about the characters or where you hope it goes. Even I'm open to our Patreon feedback. Um, and then of course we had a little get together yesterday. But other than that, I've been sticking pretty close to home and kind of dealing with just getting stuff focused again on the home front here. As far as shows, I watched Shadow and Bone season 2. I finally finished that out. I had like 2 episodes to go on it. The thing about this is it wasn't badly done. Actually, it was very well done, and they had great casting. But I was still left at the end like, okay, that so now the the savior of the show is now going to turn evil, and if they do a season 3, then you got to battle her. It's like, oh, goody. But I wish they'd focused more on the thief characters because they were far more interesting than the shadow light love story thing. So, but
Yeah, I think it got canceled.
it probably needed to. Um, and then The Citadel on Amazon, I decided to give that a try. I watched episodes 1 through 5. I think the finale just got put up there. There's only, I don't know. Um, the lead actor is pretty. The actress is really good. Of course, it's got Stanley Tucci, who can do barely any wrong. Uh, but this is just whoop, dumb. This is just a straight up cookie cutter spy type amnesia thing with lots of shoot 'em ups, leaving bodies all over the place, whatever. Um, so if you like that kind of thing, give this a try. You'll like it. If you're like, oh, I don't know, just skip.
Yeah, it's 6 episodes.
Yeah, so I'll watch the final episode, but and I don't care. They should have gotten him like naked, and then it would have been more interesting. Um, I don't know. And then Queer Eye Brazil, I watched the first episode of that, and it was okay. I mean, it's very weird. Like here, Bobby fucking tricks the house out. Like, I mean, it's just gorgeous. And down there, they like painted the walls the same color and then hung a couple paintings. I mean, it's just like it's a way different experience down
Now,
there,
is
furniture
it
wise.
subtitled?
No, actually, it when I tried to watch it originally, it was, but in oh no, it was the German one that was subtitled. This is dubbed over.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, so you don't have to worry about trying to read because that's why I didn't finish the German one. It
Yeah,
was
although the German one, they were really faggy. So
yeah,
I was surprised how gay they were.
well, this
Yeah.
one's not far off. I mean,
Okay.
these guys make Jonathan look butch, so yeah. But it was fun. It was just they did they did an older woman who had pretty much just her husband had left her. She gave up her life to make sure she had take provide a home for her son, and she just lost her way. And when they changed her, I mean, they gave her a new cut and new dress and or new ways to dress. She blossomed. So it was a really good transformative episode. Um, The Mandalorian. So I binged the entire series. Um, I loved it. It was really good. It was just like watching a really long Marvel movie. It was really well done. I love the characters. I love the tropes. I'm all in. I don't know if they're gonna do another one.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, because it, like I said, it ended where it looked like that was it.
Yeah.
He's kicking up his feet. Grugo is playing with some frogs, which
Yeah.
he's going to eat them, and
Uh-huh.
and all is right with the world. It's kind of like the ending of a Christmas Story.
Yeah, and I just it was so good. So if they do more, I mean, I'm totally into it, but very fun. Um Call Me Cat. I watched a couple episodes of like season 1 or 2 or something last night just for nostalgic reasons, and it was fun. It was really fun. I loved revisiting it. It's probably one of those that like give it a year and I've had some distance from it, and then I'll go back and binge watch it. So, and then I tried to find something interesting to watch. So I on Max, the new Max, they're now making you switch that whole thing. But I watched 2 episodes of Pennyworth, which is the uh like how Pennyworth became who he was and became the butler for Alfred. Uh, for Batman and stuff. 2 episodes in, and it's like I want to like it, but here we are again with cookie cutter spy, you know, uh, oh, I'm so bad I can kick anyone's ass type thing. Oh, and they're gonna kill my girlfriend and they kidnapped her, and now I have to find a way to get her back. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I expect. There's only so many stories they can do, but I don't know. It just felt like 2 episodes was enough.
Personally, I like Max better than HBO Max.
Um, I'm probably going to be right there with you as soon as they stop making me do the weird sign in to the other thing. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
I I'm looking forward to liking it. And there's another one that you said was going to combine that I was looking forward to, but I don't
Um,
know.
that is Paramount Showtime.
Yes. Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yes, it will be. Yeah.
But what I like the fact that now there's actually lots of stuff I can watch on because I watch a lot of Discovery Plus,
Right.
and
Yes.
so there's a lot to watch now on Max for me because I've got the occasional HBO show that I watch, and then the Cinemax stuff that's kind of weird and interesting. Like I found one on there, it's folklore, and it's 2 seasons of, I think it's some, I'm not sure where it's from, but it's like Asian. It's dubbed,
Huh.
and it's dubbed, but it's uh, like a documentary series where they tell ghost stories or scary things that happen,
Oh,
like
interesting.
some real stories. The first one was absolutely not real, but it was good. And I just wish it wasn't uh poorly dubbed, because
Right.
not only is it dubbed, but it's dubbed, and it is uh, they basically it's like it's dubbed for the blind. The woman walks through
Oh,
the
okay.
window and looks out and sees her son, you know,
Gotcha.
and I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, this is maybe a little too much, but okay. But yeah, but anyway, I what I like about Max is that it's I've got reason to go back to there now. Where with HBO, I mean, HBO for a while was the worst streaming that I had. HBO
Yeah,
Max,
I would forget that it was there until there was something that I wanted. I specifically
right?
wanted to watch, or we would watch Young Sheldon. And now yeah, I can see that happening. I hear you. Um, okay, so dear Miss Manners, advice column, advice. Uh, can you please tell me how to respond when family or close friends recommend a particular TV series to watch, only for me to find out that the show is full of situations and dialogue that go against our moral standards? I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by telling them that we objected to their suggested program.
I don't even know what the question here is.
Can you
Um,
please tell me how to respond when family and close friends
okay.
recommend a particular?
If they ask, just go, nah, it's not really our thing. End of story.
Yeah,
How
right?
hard is this? How hard is this to
Yeah.
do?
We
And
don't
what
really
kind of
watch things like that.
Nazi is this woman too? That's what I want to know.
No, I think it would be more like, you know, some Republican person
That's
going,
isn't that
I
the same
can't
thing?
watch, my family can't watch that. That has a gay character. The next day, my kids will be farting rainbows. Yeah. Anyway,
Still
um,
Nazi. Go ahead.
yeah, true. Um, Gentle reader, are they close enough for you to have a civil discussion about what bothers you? If not, it's not really our taste. Should be enough. And Miss Manners reminds you that there is no accounting for taste.
Snap.
Yeah. All right. Hey Chubbs, what is the last thing you searched for on your phone? Well, let's see.
Uh, I cleared my phone.
Oh,
I don't show anything.
smart. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did not know.
How to
Uh,
how to please your husband in 23 ways.
no, it's always it's so funny because it's usually something more like I'm looking for like I'm making enchiladas and I know how to make the enchiladas, but I'm not sure how long they need to be in the oven. So
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I put them in for 25 minutes at 350, and then I go and check the recipe, and it says 25 minutes for 350. So okay, so but I know I looked that up 2 days ago, and I'm sure there's other stuff, but that's what I'm usually doing. I'm looking up lyrics to songs that I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
or if because I'm looking at like IMDb. I looked up IMDb 3 times while we were on the on recording today. I looked up Callista Flockhart. I looked up what is the other thing that you were talking about that I was like looking up? Okay, it's me. Yeah, thank you. Um uh, oh god, I cleared that out too. You're kidding me, right? Oh, I did.
Well,
Oh,
my,
okay. I don't know.
okay. Well,
You.
my last search was varieties of olives.
Oh, that's right. I remember it. I was there
Yeah.
for it.
Because we had a conversation. I said there were 14. And then I thought, wait, that doesn't sound right. So I looked it up and there's over 100 different varieties of olives. So then I was trying to remember what it was that I heard that was 14. Well, actually, it was 19, I think. But anyway, it doesn't
It
matter.
was
There you
14.
go. Hmm?
It was 14.
Oh, okay. Hey Chubbs, what is something that you would change about your life if you could afford it?
You? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're frozen, but I can hear you.
Your internet. Oh, it's me. I'm
Remember,
unstable.
open your heart. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
If I could afford to change it, what would I change about my life? I Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to unpack
Yeah,
there.
it
I
is.
I would afford a driver to take me to the gym uh, early in the mornings to work
Well,
out.
and to the
Well,
store when
actually,
you
I would need to. If I could afford it, I'd just put in a gym.
no, but the driver is something you've always talked about. So
Oh yeah, no, I that would be wonderful to have an on-call driver. That's
yeah.
not an Uber.
Right now I'm at the point where
You're
there's
good.
not, yeah, I don't, it's not a lot of things I need to have changed.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, my labia was tighter. Yeah.
You get some all therapy. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, there's things, but it's nothing that I can't live with either. So,
Right.
but I'll tell you, if I didn't have a car, I would want a car, and I
Yeah.
understand what you mean by the driving thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Lunchbox. Well, settle in, folks, because Mr. Moose has given us some fun stuff to look at this time. I think he actually braved going to Florida. That's just insane.
What's the first thing?
All right, first thing, actually, we're starting from the bottom here. A mahi sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and aioli. Um, Side of really interesting fries that were a cross between a fry and a potato chip. Good. Think of a thick chip. Oh, I do. Uh, Crunchy outside, but soft inside. That sounds really interesting. I'd be into trying that, especially with a little ranch dip. Mm. um, Sunday brunch of bagel, lox, and cream cheese. Restaurant serves this with good add-ons.
Wow, it's lovely. Uh, I mean, everything looks really. I know Jaina would love this.
Hmm.
Would love this. I'm not a big fan of cucumbers or the salmon, but I could still work with this.
Hmm. Can't visit Florida without getting. We shouldn't be visiting Florida right now anyway, but no shaming. Can't visit Florida without getting key lime pie. This
Look at
was
how
super creamy and delicious.
look at the shine on that whipped cream.
Oh, I know
So beautiful.
it is. It's just incredible.
And I am a big fan of key lime pie.
Me too. Yeah. I've only had like one or two that were like, but the rest, especially the creamier ones, I love those too. Um, so fried coconut shrimp with slaw and
Yum,
mac and cheese,
yum,
mango dripping dipping sauce.
not yum, but everything else looks great.
Yeah. After a night of debauchery, needed a light breakfast. Mixed greens with vinaigrette, thick cut bacon, multigrain toast with butter and blackberry jam, and coffee. Lots of coffee. I'm
What do you think that Moose's idea of a night of is?
debauchery is
Not sure he is.
scrolling through adult Twitter while sipping on a sugary drink.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I would be more than willing for him to send us something to the feedback and tell us.
I'm surprised that that's all you're saying. I was waiting for something filthy.
No, I could tell you what I would like his night of debauchery to be, but
Ah,
I
he's
don't
a
know.
married man. I don't want to hear this. Go
Well,
ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think the husband would be into that. Dinner of shrimp scampi, linguine in butter sauce, and grilled shrimp.
Looks good.
Fort Lauderdale. Oh, in Fort Lauderdale on vacation. I know a non-working person on vacation, but we wanted to get away. Had a cocktail and a piece of bruschetta, tomato, olive oil, basil, and toast on toast point. Amazing. Travel
Uh,
day, which means airport food. Pulled pork quesadillas with roasted corn, black beans, and cheese. Pretty good. Now, hope to make it on the plane without diarrhea, but that's Big Fatty's podcast.
yeah. Well, and they've only got about a couple hours to their on
Yeah,
the plane, so they should be okay.
uh,
At least he can fit into the toilet if he has diarrhea.
that's true. And if something did happen, well, BFO is right there. Um, another key lime pie. This is addicting. Oh, I know. I could just eat a whole one myself. Well, it looks like a taco. Grilled mahi tacos and chips with pico. That's interesting. I have not
What
had one
is
of those.
that all? I mean, look at all that guacamole.
Let me see. I need to, my pictures are hidden. Where is it? Do.
It's number 2.
Oh, number 2. Oh, oh, wow. I love that. That's like a whole avocado worth of guacamole.
I know that's a lot of guacamole in on top of the mahi mahi. That's my kind. When I'm in Hawaii, I eat an awful lot of mahi mahi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll have to try it. Yeah.
it's a nice solid white fish.
Hubby's red snapper ceviche with
Oh, that's
tortilla
okay.
chips.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I see it now. That was the one I was questioning what it was.
Mm.
Yeah,
And those are some amazing photos, and you can find those over at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Just go over there and check that out. And thank you so much, Mr. Moose, for sharing all those and making us extremely hungry. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And you can
well,
find Tom. What? Go ahead,
I
Tom.
was going to say if you want to, listen to my other podcasts, they can always go to swannerjet.com, and
Yeah,
that's across Amazon. That's across, Apple. It's what's the other one? The
it's
other,
on Audible.
yeah,
It's
and but
Apple.
my iHeart Music. It's all,
Mhm.
as well as both Matt's this and Matt's other podcast. They're all available, so there should be no problem finding them.
That's true. And you can also find my books at justkisstheguy.com. And you can find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. So you can connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter and all sorts of other stuff.
Well, you can
And
always give us a call at
yeah, 408-69-CHUBS.
okay, yeah, I better just keep doing that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
yeah,
better at that than I am. So, all right. Well,
all
thank
right.
you all so much for tuning in, and we wish you a wonderful week. I will catch you next week.
As we count down to 500. Okay,
So cool. And the big announcement.
what is this big announcement? You got to tell me what it is first.
Okay, I'll do it off there. Bye.